In this video, I want to share with you exactly how to find your copywriting mentor that fits you, and specifically you, so you can reach 2 to 5K per month with copywriting as fast as humanly possible. And before I get into this, I want to make something very clear. In this video, I'm not gonna try to sell you my mentorship or anything. No, there's not gonna be a pitch. There's not gonna be anything. I'm just gonna walk you through my thought process when I'm choosing a mentor or a coach, whether that's for copywriting, for fighting, or dating. I don't know, whatever. It's the same thing. So first of all, let me tell you a little story. So around a year ago, 2 years ago, I had stopped doing a lot of training. I wasn't training as much. Actually, it was 1.5 years ago anyway. So I stopped training that much so I can focus on copywriting full time, and I had stopped fighting. Okay? But a few months after that, I started making money. I reached 5-10K a month, and I was like, I need to get this back into my life. So what I did is I had to make a choice. There are 2 gyms in the place I live in, very close to me. So I had a choice between Gym 1 and Gym 2. Now here's the difference, and here's how I choose mentors. So gym number 1 was, the coach wasn't really in the game. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't doing anything. While the other coach, he was professional fighter, world champion, all the good stuff. He had like hundreds of fights. I don't know. So I had a choice between who I'm gonna choose. In this one community, all of my friends were all my friends and all the people I knew. But in this, there wasn't anyone. It was more like a one-on-one coach where I wouldn't be able to interact with many people, other than people on my level, and him, of course, with a world champion, you know. So I had to make a decision. Do I want to pick the one-on-one mentor and the one-on-one coach and all this feedback and all this knowledge, or I could go to this other gym, the more known one, the fanciest one, where all of my friends were. I had to make a decision. And in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was about to choose the friends and stuff, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized, what do I actually want? Do I want to become the best, or do I just want to go and have fun? And that's why I decided to go with a one-on-one mentor, which is more expensive. Of course, it's more expensive, but you get what you pay for. You get the best feedback, you know, the best training. And that's the same mindset I apply in copywriting. If I want to have fun, bro, I'm just going to go out with them. I don't need to have fun at that time. I can have fun at the rest of the day, if that makes sense. And the same happens with copywriting too. A lot of people choose coaches just because they're most famous, or there are more people in there, or whatever. And when in reality, you need to choose, at least that's what I think, you need to choose the best one. Who is the best one? And more importantly, who is the coach who is still doing the thing they're teaching? Because it's one thing to be a fighter, for example, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and know some things. Now, of course, there are coaches who don't do the thing they're teaching and they're still good, but that's not the rule. That's the exception to the rule. At least everybody has experience fighting. I haven't seen anybody just do the thing for years. The best coaches were fighting for years, and I know some Muay Thai coaches who had hundreds of fights before they became coaches, and now they're the best. But if you haven't had any fights and whatever, how the fuck are you gonna be a good coach? Like, it doesn't make sense. The same thing applies to copywriting. If you've only been in the game for like 6 months, you made whatever, I don't know, you landed one client or something, and then you started coaching, that's okay. You don't know your shit. And that's why I prefer coaches who are still in the game. For example, my coach, both my copywriting coach and my Muay Thai coach, they're both in the game. They're both in the game. They're both fighting or doing copywriting, you know what I mean? And so that's why I chose that mentor. I want a mentor who is still doing the thing they're teaching. That's the most important part. And that's why I always say, do your research on them. I even tell this to people who want to join my mentorship, like, do your research on me. Don't take my word for it. Like, do your research. Ask around or whatever. The third thing is, have they actually produced any results? Has anyone succeeded with their methods? And if so, how many people? Because anyone can have like 5 successful students and then tens of thousands of students who haven't done anything. Everybody can have those results. It doesn't matter. It's not just about the result. It's about the success rate. This is more important. What is the success rate? What is the success rate? It's like, if it's 0.0001%, like, are you gonna join if you only know you have this amount of people succeed with a method? Because if it's so few people who succeed with a method, then it's not about the client or the student not being smart or not having work ethic or something. It's about the program. So don't let anybody convince. If you've bought any of these programs and you haven't gotten any results, and you were in there for like, I don't know, 12 months or whatever, and you haven't gotten the results you want, then it's not about you. It's not about you. Unless you weren't taking action and you weren't implementing what they were saying, and unless you were a complete beginner, then it's okay. But yeah, the fourth thing is, make sure your beliefs and worldviews align with the coach, because the last thing you want to do is have a coach who's the complete opposite of you. So some coaches say work 80 to 100 hours a week. What else do they say? You need to work every day, all day, and if you don't, you're lazy. And they say all of this stupid stuff. They focus only on materialistic stuff. You buy this car, buy that watch, buy this thing, buy that thing, and whereas you don't really like this stuff, and you're more. I'm just giving you an example here. Whereas you don't like this stuff, and you're more like, you want to spend time with your family, you want to do your hobbies, or you want to do everything. It depends on you. It depends on you. That's what you want to do. It depends on what you want to do. I want you to put this deep in your head. It all depends on you. Just because somebody is selling you on buying a car or buying a watch and something, it doesn't mean you need to buy it. It doesn't mean you need to buy it, and only if you buy it you're gonna be successful and happy. It all depends on you. What do you want to do? Do you want to do your hobbies? Do you want to buy cars? Whatever. Just find somebody who's already doing that thing and get coached from them. If you don't want to work 80 or 100 hours a week, find somebody who's not working 80 to 100 hours a week to coach you. Because here's the thing nobody talks about. If the mentor you're getting coached by works all day and they're making 10K per month, for example, I'm just giving you a random example, then how else do you expect not to work the same hours, if not more, to make the same amount of money they are? Would you like that? Doesn't make sense. If somebody's selling you, oh, you're only gonna be writing one email a day in your underwear and working 30 minutes a day and making 10K per month, and they're working all day, like, how do you expect to make? That's a fake promise. You're not gonna make this amount of money. They can only teach you what they're already doing. That's the thing. And that's why you need to find people who align with yourself, with your values, with your goals. That's even more important. You need to find people who align with your goals. So yeah, that's what I want to share with you. That's my personal way and method and framework for finding mentors, for finding coaches, so I can accelerate my progress, make 10K per month, KO opponents in the ring, and so much more. So yeah, hope that was valuable. If you'd like to see more of that, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.